Realtors of Reddit. What's the most bizarre reason someone decided not to buy a house? Former realtor here. Had a couple that wanted to live in a specific neighborhood and wanted a rectangular pool with a small pool house and covered patio. There were exactly 3 houses in the neighborhood that met these requirements. I spoke with all 3 owners, and one said they would sell and they were generous on their pricing. Why, you ask, did the couple decide not to buy? The house next door was yellow. This story goes back to around 1960, but my parents found it so stupid they told me. A family friend and his young wife found a home they wanted to buy. The wife's mother was going to give them the down payment. They were super excited about the house and said it even had a breakfast bar. That is a counter with bar stools underneath in the kitchen. The mother said no way would she ever allow her money to be spent on a house with a bar. They tried to explain it to her, but ultimately could not buy the house. Not a realtor, but I worked in finance at an RV dealership a few years back. I had a couple fly in from out of state to look at a brand new $400,000 unit that had specific features they were after, and they put a deposit on it. I got them approved and scheduled a time for them to sign, but they backed out at the last minute because they weren't sure their cat would like it. They flew back home. My family home was bought by a young man in the military and his very quirky wife. They had already ruled out dozens of houses and settled on ours because it had adequate chi flow from the front door. When they saw that the bed was directly under a window in the bedroom, the wife freaked out and said that it was sucking out our brains. While not very bizarre, it's always strange to me when someone won't buy their dream home because of the address number. Honorable mention, during an open house I was hosting, someone pulled sage out of their pocket and started burning it to get Satan out of the black countertops. Walked into the house and noticed a crystal hanging from the ceiling. In the kitchen there were more. Kinda strange, but okay. Went upstairs and all a sudden they were 10, 15 in the hallway. Then we got to the basement. Room in the back corner. Opened the door and turned on the light. Hell's bells, that is when it went to a 10. It was a dungeon. We backed out, looked at the realtor, and she said it before we did. We are never talking about this. Loved the house. It fit all our needs. We were pumped. As we were leaving, we stood in the porch to take in the neighborhood. The house directly across the street had built shelves into the windows facing the house we were viewing. The shelves were filled with old, creepy dolls staring at the house we were looking at. Hundreds of dull, lifeless eyes waiting for you to go to sleep so they could kill you. They were sun-faded. We noped out of there with our realtor's blessing. It was 20 years ago and it still freaks me out. Why? Just why? My elderly parents were looking to buy a house in the city where I live. One house met all of their criteria, and the furnishings inside even matched the furniture in their own home. Unfortunately, they were concerned that the arrangement of the kitchen would make it difficult for someone in the living room to hear the TV if someone in the kitchen was running the garbage disposal. I don't think they really wanted to move. The bizarreness was more from the sellers, and we acted accordingly, but they had let bamboo grow straight through the stone foundation of the 1890 home we were going to buy. Our inspector specialized in historic homes and had never seen anything like it. They also had installed a very nice new HVAC, but cut clear through the main support beam of the house to run ductwork for it. I didn't buy a house once because the realtor was a dipshit. The house was perfect except for one thing. In the kitchen there was a crack in the middle of the granite. When my wife pointed it out, the realtor told us, "It raises the value of the home because that's unique and considered art. No other home will have that crack." And he did not say it in a joking manner. For that dumbass statement, we left and didn't buy the home. House was pretty normal from the outside. Normal kitchen, some kitschy cosmetic stuff like a 20-foot wall in the living room with a tropical beach scene print on it, like a giant stylized photo like Carl from Aqua Teen has in his bedroom, whatever. But then the downstairs bedroom was carpeted except the center of the room where they had the bed was tiled and the tile extended over to a shower. Not in a bathroom, it was just a shower in the room. We turned around to leave and noticed the inside of the door was studded, padded leather and had a peephole that looked in from outside the door. There was a house we looked at that met most of our criteria, but when we went back outside, we noticed that the next-door neighbor has all these signs on this porch posts. Keep out, not trespassing, beware of dog, etc., and piles of junk furniture and machinery on the porch. Not who I want to live next door to. We had an offer come in for an apartment in Park Slope, New York. Great apartment. Great location. Guy puts in an offer slightly over asking, and we're stoked. Then, he pulls it back because he was freaking out about there being 2 working fireplaces. Apparently, this was causing him anxiety, so he went to his therapist to talk about it, and they made the decision that it would cause him too much ongoing anxiety to have those fireplaces. I have no idea why fireplaces would cause anxiety. I saw them as a positive, but anyway, we sold it for slightly less someone else, and the guy didn't have to deal with knowing there were fireplaces in his apartment. Win-win. Buyer loved the house until they opened the upstairs storage space. They screamed and ran downstairs because they found a dead bird. It was a large piece of pink insulation that had fallen down. It gave serial killer vibes. Really nice from the outside, and the interior only need a little work. Within our price range, in a neighborhood we were already familiar with. Checked all boxes. There's a bonus room, like a storage room adjacent to the garage, our realtor told us. We walked through the house thinking this one might be it. We opened the door to the bonus room, and immediately my wife gives me a look of both concern and discomfort. I too felt it the same sensation. By all accounts, a normal-looking storage room with some empty shelves and racks to hang tools from. However, something about a random-ass, portable, deep utility sink sitting in the back wall in the dark creeped us both out. We walk through the room, and I don't say anything, but instead waiting for my wife to speak first. Few seconds later, she says, "Yep, some has killed and cut up a human body in here. I just know it. I don't like it." I'm not superstitious, and I could have easily explained how easily it would be to remodel and decorate the room, but I laughed and responded in agreement as I tried laughing it off so that the realtor didn't think we were crazy. Wasn't an urgent, intense feeling of we're gonna die if we stay here, but rather a I rather not sleep. In the same house a murderer conducted his business. Very strange, irrational, and random for either of us to think that way. But we both did unprompted and essentially communicated and confirmed via body language our thoughts. Thanks for watching till the end. Write your stories in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, you can watch other videos on our channel.